Thomas asked the AI for the key clauses in a supplier contract. It gave him a clean, confident list. Clause 14, a 30-day termination right. It sounded perfect. There was just one problem. Clause 14 did not exist. The AI made it up. This is the single most important thing to understand about AI before you trust it with real work. It hallucinates. It can be completely, confidently wrong. And if you do not understand why, it will eventually burn you. So today, Thomas learns what a hallucination actually is, why it happens, and the simple habits that keep you safe. First, what is a hallucination? It is when the AI produces information that is plausible, fluent, and totally false. A made-up statistic, a clause that is not in the document, a supplier fact that is simply invented, a citation to a report that never existed. The dangerous part is not that it is wrong. Humans are wrong all the time. The dangerous part is the confidence. It does not hedge. It does not say, "I am not sure." It states the fiction in the exact same calm, authoritative tone it uses for the truth. So why does this happen? Understand this one idea and it all makes sense. Remember what a large language model actually does. It predicts the next most likely word. That is its entire job. It is a phenomenally good pattern machine for language. But here's the catch. It was trained to produce text that sounds right. It was not trained to know what is true. Those are two completely different things, and the gap between them is exactly where hallucinations live. Think of it like the world's most well-read improviser. Ask it anything, and it will instantly generate the most plausible sounding continuation. If it knows the answer, plausible and true line up, and you get a great result. If it doesn't know, it does not stop. It still generates the most plausible sounding answer. It fills the gap with fiction, because fluent fiction and fluent fact look identical to a word predictor. It is not lying. Lying needs intent. The AI has no concept of truth to deceive you about. It is just confidently completing a pattern. That is why it will invent a clause number. Clause 14 sounded like exactly the kind of thing that would be in that contract, so it wrote it. Now, when is the risk highest? It pays to know the danger zones. 1. Specific facts, names, numbers, and dates. The more precise the detail, the more likely it is to be fabricated if the model is unsure. 2. Anything recent. If it happened after the model was trained, it does not know, but it may still guess. 3. Niche or proprietary topics. Your specific contract, your internal data, a small supplier it has never seen. With little to go on, it fills the gap. 4. When you push it. If you demand an answer it does not have, you are practically inviting it to invent one to please you. Notice the pattern. Hallucinations spike exactly where procurement lives. Specific numbers, specific suppliers, specific contracts. So this is not an abstract risk for us. It is the core risk. But here's the good news, and it is genuinely good news. Hallucinations are completely manageable. You do not avoid AI because of them. You just build a few simple habits. Here are 5 that keep Thomas safe. Habit 1. Ground it in your own documents. Do not ask the AI what is in a contract from memory. Paste the contract in and ask it to answer only from the text you provided. When it works from your source instead of its memory, hallucinations drop dramatically. This is the single biggest fix. Habit 2. Ask for the evidence. Add 1 line to your prompt. For every point, quote the exact sentence from the document it comes from. If it cannot produce the quote, the point is suspect. You are forcing it to show its work. Habit 3. Never trust a number you did not give it. Treat every figure, total, and percentage the AI produces as unverified until you check it. For real calculations, use a spreadsheet, not the chatbot. It predicts numbers, it does not compute them. Habit 4. Be suspicious of suspicious confidence. The more specific and confident a claim on a topic you know is niche or recent, the more you verify before you act. Confidence is not evidence. In an AI, it never was. Habit 5. Keep a human on anything that matters. Use the AI to draft, to summarize, to get you 90% of the way. But the final check on anything that goes to a supplier, a contract, or the board is always you. The AI is the analyst. You are the one who signs. Do you see the thread? Every habit is just a way of separating what sounds right from what is actually true. That is your whole job as the human in the loop. Let me give you one more concrete example, because it is the kind that catches people. Thomas asked an AI for 3 suppliers of a specialist component with their certifications. It produced a beautiful table. 3 names, 3 certification numbers, all perfectly formatted. 2 were real. One was a company that did not exist, with a certification number it invented, because the pattern called for a 3rd row and it dutifully filled it. If Thomas hadn't checked the register, he would have put a phantom supplier into a sourcing shortlist. The format looked so professional that the fiction hid in plain sight. That is exactly how hallucinations get you, not with obvious nonsense, but with a clean, confident table. And there is a deeper reframe here. A hallucination is not a bug you are unlucky to hit. It is a fundamental property of how this technology works. The companies are getting better at reducing it, but it will never hit 0 because the thing was built to be plausible, not to be truthful. So the professionals who win are not the ones who find an AI that never hallucinates. That does not exist. They are the ones who build the verification habit so deeply that it becomes automatic. They get all the speed of AI with none of the false confidence. Think about what that means for your value. In a world of machines that produce confident, fluent, occasionally fictional answers, the skill that becomes priceless is judgment, knowing what to trust, knowing what to check, knowing when something sounds too clean to be true. That is not being replaced by AI. That is exactly what AI cannot do. So let's go back to Thomas in clause 14. The old Thomas might have quoted that clause in a meeting and been humiliated when someone opened the actual contract. The new Thomas had added one line to his prompt. Quote the exact text for every clause you list. The AI tried to produce clause 14, could not find the words, and the fiction simply collapsed before it ever reached him. Same AI, same risk. The only difference was the hobbit. So let's lock it in. AI hallucinates because it predicts plausible text. It does not know truth. The risk is highest on specific facts, recent events, and your own niche data, which is exactly where procurement lives. And you stay safe by grounding it in your documents, asking for the evidence, never trusting an unverified number, questioning suspicious confidence, and keeping yourself on anything that counts. Do that and AI goes from a risky oracle to a fast, reliable assistant that you supervise, which is exactly what it should be. If you want prompts that build verification in by default, the kind that demand evidence and work only from your documents, they are free and linked below. And our full course goes deep on using AI safely on real contracts and real data. Thomas never got caught by a phantom clause again. Now go and build the habit yourself. I'll see you in the next one.